Hello, Green Girls. As I mentioned, I'm going to jump around here and go to 9-7. So you can, with your 9-5 and 9-6 papers, throw them away. But your papers are photocopied back and front, so I don't know if that messes up anything for you. 9.7, I'm going to do half today and half tomorrow. Helping you out since it's the last week of school. You're going to talk about simple interest. And the formula to calculate interest out, simple interest, is capital I equals PRT. PRT are all lowercase. The capital I is for interest. Over here on, the abbreviations. I is for interest, P is for principal, R is your interest rate per year, and that's always going to come at you as a percentage, okay? And it's per 1 year. T is standing for time, and it's going to be calculated in years. So if they tell you 6 months, you need to put it into a year. So there's a couple things you can do. Anyway, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what all of this stuff means. This is kind of grown-up stuff here. When you put money in a bank account, like a savings account, we call that a deposit, okay? When you deposit money, the principal is how much you put in, how much money you put in. The interest on a savings account, and in the United States of America, it's free money that's added to your original amount that you put in. So just talking as an example here, if I start a savings account and I put $1,000 in, that's my P, that's my principal, what I started with. I gave the bank $1,000. Now if the bank says to me that my interest rate is going to be 2%, 2% for the year or 2% for the month, that's free money that they're giving me because they're excited that I came to them to give them money to hold on to. They're excited that I chose their bank, and so they're going to give me free money. Okay? And so I would have to calculate over time. We would just say that we want to, if you wanted to see how much money you would earn in, say, 5 years, as you plug in this little sample problem here, your interest is what we're finding out. The principal, I said, was $1,000. Your rate is 2%. And the time, I'm going to find out how much money I'll get in 5 more years. Remember, you don't put percentages in a formula. You have to make the percentage a decimal. So I would use 1,000 times 0.02 times 5, because I want to know what happens in 5 years. There's my T for time. Okay? And there's just my little example. Now, a loan, we have these letters meaning different things. Essentially the same, but different. In a loan, why you go to a bank or a credit card system to borrow money is because you have some sort of bill that you have to pay and you don't have the money for it, and so you need to go and borrow money, or that is called having a loan. And so the principal is how much money you're borrowing. And then the interest is the sad face part. They charge you money because you're borrowing it. And that's the way America works. Wah, wah, wah. So if you deposit, they'll give you free money, but if you borrow, you have to pay the interest on top of, there's my plus that amount on top of what you borrowed. And so here's an example. It's quick check 1 on page 468. They lay out the problem for you. You borrow $300 for 5 years at an annual interest rate of 4%. What is the simple interest you pay in dollars? And so I kind of just spelled it out there. We're borrowing $300. The loan is going to last for 5 years. The bank is going to make us pay 4% on top of what we borrowed. And so you see, as I put it as a multiplication problem, because it's P times R times T, P is my principal, how much I borrowed, $300. My R is the rate that the bank is giving me, 4%. So that's up 0.04. Time, how long am I borrowing this loan for? 5 years. And so I multiply them left to right. That's what my arrow is doing there. And it comes out to be a nice even 60. And so as I put my label back into my problem, that's $60. So the interest is $60. It's going to charge me, the bank is going to charge me $60 extra to borrow my $300. So you have to incorporate that. So you need to watch your questions. If they're asking you what is the simple interest or interest, then you would say $60. But if they're asking how much you're going to pay at the end of the loan, that would be $360 because it's plus, interest is plus how much you borrowed in the first place, because they want a little fee because you came to them to borrow. And ladies, that's just how America works here. So I'm going to have you do practice 9-7. We're going to do half today and half tomorrow. I want you to do 1 through 7 today about the simple interest. Now the trick part, and I want you to look at this, so put me on pause, grab it, go get 9-7, is the first 3 are 15 problems. What? What? The first 3 is asking you how much interest is happening in 5 years. So every time you do the problem, you have to use time for 1 year, time for 2 years, time for 3 years, time for 4 years, time for 5 years, and then you'll have answered the question, and then you have to graph it. So you're going to have to do 15 problems in problems 1, 2, and 3. Okay, don't forget to label your y-axis, please. They labeled the bottom as just simply time, how many years, and then you need to give it a y-axis label. So you need to do the problems first so that you may graph them adequately. And then 4, 5, 6, and 7 is just some more interest problems. You have to look at, though, think about what you're depositing versus loan. So there is that problem. The other half of this is something called compound interest. This is simple interest today. I'm going to teach you compound interest tomorrow. So as always, email me if you have questions. And this is 9-7, and I want you to do problems 1 through 7. Bye.